and welcome back to another episode on the Ambassador Sports Network. I'm your host, Dalitso Kulameka.
I'm Eric Reed.
And I'm Shane Dunkley.
And Alumni Weekend, Oakwood's homecoming, is next week, guys. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
Hey, man, I did a story on this earlier this week, and the lady that I was interviewing said that if you have 3 credits at Oakwood University, you're an official alumni. I did not know. I thought you had to graduate.
Oh, for real?
Officially, we're all alumni of Oakwood. So,
yes, sir.
Hey, man, it just means so much more in
that
that
fake alumni status, man. I gotta wait till I cross the stage to get my diploma. Then I'm a real alumni.
One more year.
Eric, it's been a minute since you've been up here, brother.
Yeah, man, I was in the Dallas Cowboys' favorite vacation destination in Mexico, man. It was great, getting some sun, ate some great food. I'm gonna be back though.
In the middle of the semester?
You know how he gets. He likes to take cruises a week after spring break. That's how he's feeling.
How I get like you. And also, we have to shout out our TD technical director, Mr. Andrew McClendon. He does it all behind the scenes, and he's actually, promoting a movie that he's putting out for the Green Room Film Festival that will take place on Friday, the 27th of March, of the day of this recording. But, obviously, it'll be a couple days later. But shout out to him and everything he does for the studio.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. He can hear me right now, but we're going to get into what everybody came here for, some sports talk at Oakwood University. We have the baseball team. They played 5 games this past week. We'll update you on that. And then we have Cailyn Sterling, your favorite segment, Cailyn's Corner. She's with head coach of the softball team, Darrius Johnson. She had a sit-down interview with him over the week just to see how the team is doing. And then right after that, you won't see us again after we pass it off to Cailyn, because then Joseph Morant, you're another one of your favorite segments. Joe knows he'll be in here with a sit-down interview with women's basketball head coach Ronnie Abrams to talk about his season, coach of the year, the success he had this year, the sadness they had in the playoffs. And then we'll see you all next week when we get around to alumni time. But until then, you ready, brothers?
Yes, sir.
I'm ready.
Let's start off with the Oakwood baseball team, who played 5 games this week, including a 2-game series versus the Lemoyne-Owen Magicians and a 3-game series versus the Talladega Tornadoes. The baseball team went 1-3 on the week so far, with the 5th game being played versus Talladega right now as we record. The lone win of the week came versus a familiar foe, the Lemoyne-Owen Magicians. I was up here last week saying hopefully the baseball team can find the antidote to put the Magicians out. And although they didn't completely put them out, they split with 1-1 on the year with them, on the series with them, and we'll take it. Meaning the baseball team has now set a new season record for most wins in a season. That's cause to celebrate, because I'm glad to see, Shane, you said this might take some time, but this team, 10 wins is still on the table. So we can see that in the Lemoyne-Owens game, the Ambassadors overcame a 4-0 deficit, top of the 4th inning, to win 7-6. Senior Jordan Jennings, who is enjoying a career best season, homered a ball, bringing in Jalen Sharp to help the Ambassadors during their comeback. So guys, talk to me about the Lemoyne-Owens series as a whole and the win, and what the team can continue to do to improve and see more wins.
Well, I said this in the last time we were talking about the baseball team, and I got to say it again, character. Character comes into place in this game because the Ambassadors, like the Voorhees win a week prior, they were down 5-1 in the 5th inning, and they had to claw their way out in a 7-inning game to ultimately beat Lemoyne-Owens and get this W. And that's not easy when you're down 5-1 and it looks like it's just another day at the office. It's not easy to kind of, turn that clock or turn that the side of things and really claw your way back in the game. That's not easy, and baseball is a mental game. I was talking to one of the recruits that's redshirting, this season, and he was telling me baseball is probably the most mental game out of all major sports, and I had to agree.
Yeah, he said 90% mental, 10% physical.
Literally, coming back from 5-1, coming back from a deficit in any sports is a mental game, but especially baseball when all of those factors come into play. But I have to shout out my guy, Corey Levy. He had 4 at-bats, brung in 1 run and 2 hits. That's major stuff if we want to continue to, rack off these wins later on in the season.
Yes, and he's new to the team.
Literally.
First season.
New to the team. And another thing, one thing I'm noticing, and this may sound obvious to some, but, one thing I'm noticing in these 3 wins that we've had, they've been high-scoring games, right? I know pitching has been an issue, which is accustomed to any team that's just starting out a program. But if we continue to get, these multiple run or double-digit run games and high run games, I think we could start to rack up some wins later on in the season because you have to look at these other teams' pitchers. These guys are getting tired. Some injuries are occurring, right? Mm-hmm. So later in the season, it comes down to who can hit the best.
Okay, so you're saying you think the higher scoring games are going to help the Ambassadors in the long run. Interesting. Eric?
Yeah, my main question about this team is how do we get any type of consistency? Because it's been really up and down. Even though this has been the best year for baseball thus far, we need to get consistent. We need to string together a couple wins, get our confidence back up, and just really do better as the season progresses. And as with basketball, football, as basically with any sport, it starts on defense. Our defense, we have to put ourselves in favorable positions for the offense to capitalize when they go up to bat. And they also have to cut down on the mental lapses. In the game yesterday against Talladega Elite, so you were there, there were too many plays where the catcher would try to catch a runner stealing second or third, and they end up fumbling the ball on the catch, and plays that should be positive for Oakwood end up being runs for the other team and positive plays for the other team.
Agreed.
So we have to cut down on plays like that to put us in positions on offense to get the ball in scoring positions.
But Eric, I'll say this before you say something to Lisa. I'll say this. Errors are definitely one of the Achilles heels we've had for the past 3-4 years, of Oakwood baseball. But I will say, with this new coach coming in, he has really instilled a discipline in what we see from these guys. And compared to about a year or two ago, these errors are down tremendously. And
but you do have to wonder, not to cut you off, but you do have to wonder how much of what the coach is trying to instill is going to work when the team is not winning as consistently as you want. True. Because those same type of disciplines, when you're winning, it's good, it's okay. Right. But when you're losing, you might have to change up the coaching approach, how you're doing things, True. But yes, continue.
True, and that's a great point, Deliso, because I've had coaches that have been hard on me. Like, I think really all of my coaches, to date of me being 21 years old, in my 21 years of life, all my coaches have been hardcore style coaches. If we lose a game, run after practice and do all these different things, yell at you for different for errors and stuff like that. No, that's not a bad thing, but when your team is continuously losing, and that's kind of becoming not the culture, but the things to be expected, right? When your team is continuously losing, is there a middle ground that has to be instilled where a guy messes up and maybe you don't yell at him, maybe
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you don't yell at him, but I'm saying it might be things as simple as a guy, how the runners, when they hit it, say they hit a triple, right? Goes all the way to third base, and he gives you the stuff off of his arms or whatever that he normally hits with. And then now you got to walk him back to the dugout after the inning is over. Like, coach, you can just carry it for the player. You don't have to have the player. But maybe if that's the system he's trying to instill, hey, I'm up here reporting on the sport. I'm not out there coaching them, so he sees something different than me. One thing I'll be remiss if I didn't mention though is 2 freshmen. We talked about Mr. Chance Jobert last episode, what he did in that series versus Voorhees, and now another one, Jalen Sharp, along with Chance in this game in the win versus Lemoyne Owens. Jalen Sharp had 2 at-bats, 2 runs, 2 hits, and 1 RBI. And Jobert, who leads the team in hitting percentage, had 4 at-bats, 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 RBIs. So these are 2 freshmen right here who are rounding into form to help out guys like Corey Levy, Eli Kennedy, Derek Sanders, Jordan Jennings. These are 2 freshmen right here coming in, first year at Oakwood University, first year playing collegiate baseball, and we see they're coming in helping lead to wins. We named Chance in the win versus Voorhees. We named Chance in the win versus Lemoyne Owens. And now we named Jalen Sharp. So this team is finding pieces as the season goes on of players putting it together, stringing together good performances. Like how you said, a team as a whole needs to string together a couple of wins. But you see players, win or lose, they're stringing together good performances. And that's the type of stuff we want to see. That's the type of improvement we want to see from this Oakwood baseball team.
Yes.
I just need the baseball team to have a media day so I can put up some pictures of these freshmen because I don't have anything to show the audience of these guys when they're performing at the highest level.
We might have to take the pictures.
We just might have to.
On my little iPhone 15. But I have to say this before
Real
the segment
quick,
closes out. I do have to shout out Coach Stubbs. It's not easy coming in December 1st where most guys have a full 12 months to kind of formulate what your team is going to be for the season.
And recruit.
He came in literally 2 months before the season started, right? So, and brought us our most wins in single season Oakwood history, right? So I have to shout him out regardless of how it's done. He's getting it done, right? And, from what I've seen, in practices and the games and the overall culture, I feel like in a year or maybe even down the line here, the wins will start to trickle on as things progress. So shout out Coach Stubbs. You're doing a great job, and I hope to see some more in the future.
Yes, sir. Yes, we'll have to see. And then next week, March 31st, Tuesday, the Ambassadors will play a home doubleheader versus the UT Southern Firehawks at 2 and 4 p.m. The Ambassadors had some success against them earlier in the year, but now they'll be looking to sustain that success for the full duration of a game and continue to stack some more W's. And now, the softball team is coming off of a 3-game series versus Huston Tillotson, where they went 1-2. ASM reporter Cailyn Sterling went on the field this past week to sit down with head coach Darrius Johnson to get a closer look at how his inaugural season is going with the early win streak and then the losing streak and how the team plans to turn things around. So we'll toss it over to you, Cailyn.
Hello, I'm Cailyn, and welcome back to Cailyn's Corner. Today I have a very special guest with me.
Coach Johnson, head softball coach, Oakwood Ambassadors.
Coach Johnson, how would you assess where the team is right now at this point in the season?
I would assess that we're trying to still find ourselves, our identity. We're young, but we also got some great pieces, and we just got to put it together.
Yeah, so you have had a strong success at home. What would you say is technical difficulties? What would you say is working well at home right now?
The support, the baseball team, the basketball team, some alumni is coming out. The support has been real great for us, and home is where you don't want to lose at, so that's been great for us.
Right. So what do you think the team could take to the away games to see more success away?
The biggest thing is energy. The energy, knowing that, when you go away, they're going to have their crowd. Their crowd is going to be pumped. They're going to trash talk us, but we still have to bring confidence to the away games, just like we have at the home games.
So far in the season, what are some small improvements that you have been seeing in your girls this season?
To be honest, with the limitations that we have with numbers-wise, we got some strong girls that are pushing through, adversity. Most of the teams we playing 20-plus girls, and we got 10, 11, and so they're showing me they're built strong. We just got to get a little stronger mentality-wise, but other than that, we've been mental toughness. They're physical, they're going in it, but we just got to be a little tougher coming down the stretch.
Yes, so going into my next question, is that what you guys have been working on mostly in practices, or what have you been focusing on to improve?
To be honest, with the amount of girls that we have, it's kind of hard to focus on those things at practice because right now my focus is them resting, recovery, and my biggest focus is we're going to compete. We're going to battle, but we want to make sure we're healthy enough to get to the conference tournament and really compete. So at practice, we can't really go as hard because we're one ankle, one injury away from not even having a team. So that's one of my biggest focus right now is just team recovery, body recovery.
Okay, so what is a message that you've been telling your team? Or is there like a theme that you have for your girls this season to kind of motivate them throughout the season?
Mental toughness, and my biggest thing. They'll laugh when I say it, but stop being a chicken. Got to be a dog. Got to be a dog. And when you playing a sport, it's like stop with all the excuses. You know, yeah, we got 9, yeah, we got 10, but some of the other teams got 20 and ain't but 9 girls playing. We got to stop with the excuses. Show up and be a dog. That's my philosophy. Be a dog, not a chicken.
Y'all heard it here first. Be a dog, not a chicken. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been wonderful. Do you have anything to say to the fans?
Hey, we got senior night coming up versus Talladega. Come out and support this Sunday, 2 to 4. We play at 2 and then we play again at 4. So come out, keep coming, keep bringing the energy. We appreciate y'all.
Be there or be square. See you next time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Joe Knows. And today with me, I have a very special guest. I have 2-time All-American, 1-time champion as a player, and then as head coach, Eastern Conference champion, 25-26, and then, get this, head coach of the year for 25-26. Today with me, I have head coach for the women's basketball team, Coach Ronnie Abrams. How you feeling today, Coach?
I'm feeling great. I'm happy you guys had me on. I really am. I'm happy you guys had me on. We overdue.
Yes, sir.
Overdue.
Overdue for sure. So last week, I had an interview with Coach Simon Jacob, and in that conversation, I asked him about what his role was like as AD and when it comes to hiring coaches. So walk me through a little bit of what was going on in your mind when you were selected to be the head coach for the women's basketball team.
Excited, super excited and confident. Definitely confident, knowing I could be the one to step in and, you know, change this program and make it be something that has never been before, you know. So, and I'm always keeping God first, and I know that's what Oakwood's about. So, you know, that was a big part of me. That was a big part for me.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. So, at the beginning of the season, we were predicted to be the 6th seed. And then obviously you've seen we were the 1st seed this year. What was going through your mind when you saw the prediction versus towards the end of the year when you see that we were the number 1 seed?
Just every single day, just at practice, letting them know, like, hey, these people don't believe in us, and we believe in us, you know. So we got to make sure we step out there and do the best we could do every single day at practice. At practice is where it starts, and working hard at practice helps us win a lot of games, you know. Working hard at practice helps us win a lot of games. And, you know, we ended up winning 17 games. That was big, you know.
Yes,
that was huge for this program, huge for this program. I don't think no program has ever done that before when it comes to women, on the women's side, for sure, you know.
And sticking here when it comes to what's happening in the women's history books when it comes to basketball. So I have to ask you about a certain player. So Trinisha Adams, she eclipsed the mark of 1,000 points this year. She's one of 3 players to do that in Oakwood's history, obviously being the only woman. What does Trinisha Nene Adams mean to Oakwood basketball?
Oh, my goodness. I've been coaching here for 3 years. This is my 3rd year as head coach. I brought Trinisha in when I was an assistant coach. And, man, I can't say enough about that kid. That kid is amazing. I mean, she is amazing. She also led the league in threes made for 3 years straight. For 3 years straight, she's led the league in threes made. I could tell her to shoot 20 threes, and she won't shoot nothing but 10. She's just that unselfish. She's a great person. She wants to pass the ball to her teammates, make sure they get involved at all times. You couldn't ask, you know, for a better player. And, you know, I had 5 great seniors this year. I really did, you know. So when you talk about Brittany Howe, strong, physical, you know, just a beast in the paint. She'll shoot that mid for you. We got Jakala Dwory, you know, she'll crash the boards. She's super athletic, she's fast, she'll run the floor for you. We got Madison McDonald, you know, she ended up tearing her ACL. You know, that was a big part of our team. You know, she was one of our best defensive players. Long, athletic, could guard a guard, could guard a forward.
Right.
Sometimes she might even go try to guard the center, you know.
Yeah.
The point guard, she definitely, you know, can handle that one-on-one, you know. Alicia Reeser, one of our other better defenders, she guards up. You know, I had her for 3 years as well.
Yeah.
She's a bull, man. She's tough. She plays very, very hard, you know. Every single one of those seniors, they played so hard for us, you know. And I just feel like they paid the way for this program, those 5 seniors, because, you know, as soon as I got them, they believed in everything I asked them to do, and they've done it. They did everything I asked them to do. I want to make sure I ain't forgetting about none of my seniors either, you know, because
yeah, it's a pretty long list.
Yeah, because we got a lot of girls and they all coming back. So I don't want to miss nobody.
Yeah, 100%. And to piggyback off that, I'm still going with what my statement was made earlier. Tranisha Adams is the GOAT of Oakwood women's basketball. And to the next question.
Hold on, let me stamp that. I want to stamp that. Let me put
Yeah,
a
go ahead
stamp
and
on
stamp
that.
it.
Yeah, because
So-
hey, if they got something to say about it, I got so much film, and the stats to show for it.
Yes, sir, to prove it.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, Final Four appearance this year. First time in women's basketball history. What were your emotions during that game and after the game?
During the game, man, we went up about 15, like 2 times. Man, it was tough. That game was tough. That's one of the games I still think about when I go to sleep at night. So it's very, very tough to think about that type of game, man, because I still feel like we talking about a team that we beat by 23 the first time we saw them, and we went up 15 against them. It's just like that tournament play is so unpredictable. Like anything can really happen. Anything can really happen. And, we was to play that game again, we might beat them by 20, But things happen and, we just got to, kind of accept it for what it is. But we keep God first throughout the whole journey of this season. So, like, I want to say one thing about it, too. Just because, we didn't win the tournament, it doesn't take away from what these ladies have done at this university, man. Because these ladies have, 17 wins is big for this program. And we won the Eastern Division champion. We the Eastern Division champions putting trophies in trophy cases, So these girls, they deserve an applause for that, because that's huge. That is huge. And when we talk about, Coach of the Year, for me, I couldn't do that without these young ladies and just keeping God first because, that was our main focus, to make sure we keep God first throughout this whole journey. And, it's just big, and I love what this program is coming to, and I love what these young ladies do for the program, and, we're for each other.
So that leads me to my next question, Coach. What improvements are you looking to make going into next season?
Oh, man, it's recruiting time, man. It's recruiting time.
Yeah.
And when I got a lot of girls coming back, and, so I'm looking for about maybe four good players. I want them to be dominant players, so to add on to what we already have, And when I say, I talked about my seniors, but I can't forget about, I can go down the list of my juniors. I got Jaylena Thomas, I got Morgan Bone. Both of those are going to be huge players for us next year. They're going to be huge players for next year. They're going to be seniors,
As well as Kamari Murray.
Kamari Murray's a sophomore. She's a sophomore.
Right.
So I got a sophomore list too. The sophomore list is they're dominant as well. We got Superstar K. I like to call her Superstar K. Kamari Murray.
Yeah.
When I tell you that girl is something special, she is something special. And she's something special on the volleyball court, and she's something special on the basketball court.
Two-sport star, definitely.
For sure. And I'm looking for her to have a great season next year. They gypped her on first team and second team last year. I really felt like she should have got an award for sure. For sure. But since she didn't get it, me and her already talked about it. She's gonna make the conference pay next year.
Yeah.
She's gonna make the conference pay next year. And we got Lydia Josiah, who stepped into a big role for us, man.
Yeah.
That girl, her freshman year, she didn't see too much playing time, but she earned it this year. She earned it. And when she earned it, she stepped up big for us in tournament games. She stepped up big for us in some conference games where tight games, she might come out, give us 15, give us that edge to win the game, give us 18 to win the game, So, man, I can't say enough about Lydia Josiah. She's an awesome player. She really is an awesome player. Then you can't forget about Sanaya Keys.
Yeah.
The player of the year last year. She was the player of the year. That's why when I say this team is the best team to come through the women's program, it's so many girls that we could talk about. You know what I mean? We could talk about so many of these girls because they can really, really go. They can really, really go. And, Sanaya, everybody loves Sanaya. Everybody talks about her all the time. So, I'm not going to let y'all know. Because I want her next year to be so dominant that we just look at her and say, hey, she's supposed to do that,
Right.
That's how good, she could really, really be.
Because a lot of us are already looking at her like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, she's a big time player, and we love to see it. We love to see it, and I got other sophomores. I got another junior, Malaya Hughes. She's going to be a good point guard for me next year. She really is. She's going to step up. She's gonna be a senior actually, but she's a junior this year. She's gonna step into her role. She's gonna have the ball a little bit better than she did this year, and she's gonna control the game better for me.
Sure.
I just want to make sure I ain't missing nobody. I know I got my freshman Sanaya Sanders. Man, oh my goodness, she's gonna be a huge help to us. You know, this year she had dealt with knee injuries.
Yeah.
So, you know, some games she missed. You know, so you know we working on that. We getting better. We getting better with that every day. So, I think she's back to about 95% now. So.
Yeah.
Next year, she's gonna be she's gonna be something to deal with. She's gonna be something to deal with as well.
And so now, Coach, I want to wrap up with this final question. So
Hold
it's
up, Joe,
2026.
I got another one. Another one, Joe. Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Cause I can't leave out another one because they'll get mad at me.
They get mad at you.
They'll get mad. Jasmine Young, she's gonna be a help for us as well next year. And I think if I missed anybody, I'll come back on here and I'll tell y'all about them. But I know for a fact, man, this program has changed, and next year we're gonna continue to build. My seniors, they paved the way for us, and next year we're gonna continue to build.
Hey, you know, I had another question, Coach Ronnie, but that was an excellent final statement. I don't even think I need to ask the next question, but I'll just make an announcement. So it's 2026, which is the 10-year anniversary of Coach Ronnie's championship team in 2016, and they'll be facing the current Oakwood Ambassadors team on Sunday, Alumni Weekend. Be sure to tune into that game, everybody.
Hold up, I'm not done. I still got another one. I got another one. Harmony. Harmony's gonna be a big help for us as well. 6'2", 6'3", big down low. So she's gonna be big for us next year as well. July 12th, golf tournament. Women's basketball fundraiser. We need everybody there. We need everyone there. And if you can't make it, we need you to donate to the women's basketball. We need you to donate. We need everybody donating. And vote for Morgan Bone Athletic Vice.
You heard him, folks. Once again, appreciate you, Coach Ronnie, for coming through for this interview. Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Thank you for watching the Ambassador Sports Network. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tap that bell so you're notified every time we post.